into your head? A man hitting a woman, maybe a couple yelling at each other, demeaning each other, or maybe a parent hitting a child. While all of those are forms of domestic violence, there are a few that are often forgotten about, or maybe we just don't know, and that's okay. I'm here to tell you the different forms and signs. Why? Because in the time span of my speech, about 3 minutes, on average, 60 people will be victims of physical abuse of some sort. Do the math, that's about 20 people per minute according to the Center for Disease Control. It is all around us. Domestic violence has no specific demographics, and it comes in many different forms. Today I will be talking to you about the different types and some possible signs of domestic violence. First, I will be talking about the different types. Let's start with the definition of domestic violence. Domestic violence is defined as a pattern of violence or abuse to one person or another, by one person to another in a domestic setting, being couples, marriage, living together. While we are all aware of the bigger topics, such as physical abuse, emotional, according to SafeHorizon.org, some examples are physical and sexual acts or threats, emotional and or psychological acts, being demeaning each other, calling each other names, financial abuse, so withholding funds, taking their credit card away, possibly even their car, not allowing them to have money. Stalking is a form of domestic abuse that's often forgotten about, and threatening to out sexual orientation if they haven't come out yet. Disclaimer, these statistics I have from the Center for Disease Control are from 2012 because oftentimes domestic violence is not reported and thus cannot be accounted for. Half of women and men experience some sort of psychological aggression in their lifetime. Half. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will experience some sort of severe physical violence in their lifetime. 1 in 10 women will be raped, and 16.9% of women, 8% men will experience sexual acts other than rape against them in their lifetime. And 10.7% of women and 2.1% of men have reported being stalked by their intimate partner in their lifetime. Now my second point will be the types of signs you can look for. According to WebMD, you can look for marks or bruises if they have been physically or sexually abused, although they may try to cover it up with makeup, or they might blame it on tripping or, oh, I was clumsy, and oftentimes their explanation doesn't match the injury. They may try to isolate themselves. If they were usually social people, they may not be social anymore. They might stop talking to their family, stop talking to friends, stop trying to make friends, and maybe it's because their partner won't let them. They might have little money available, or like I said, they might take their car away, they won't have any credit card, sometimes they're even given an allowance. They have to ask permission to meet with, talk with anybody, and to do things with people. In conclusion, I have talked to you about the types of domestic violence and the signs to look for, but now it's your turn to take what I said and use it. Remember that domestic violence knows no age, no gender, no sexual orientation, no race, ethnicity, nothing. It knows nothing, no boundaries. Please don't turn a blind eye. Don't ignore the signs. You can help. If you are ever in a domestic violence situation, I strongly encourage you to get help. And if you know somebody that's in one, please encourage them to get help. Don't force though. And you never know, you might just save a life.